Thanks, Tom. We knew this was going to be a tough game. Charlotte is big and physical. They use the entire clock. They really stress your defense. Thankfully, we were able to build a lead in the first half to make them have to play with a little bit more tempo because they're a tough team when you fall behind early. Fortunately, we weren't able to keep that lead. Was disappointed with our defensive effort to begin the second half. But thankfully, our guys were able to come together, and that's what we've been talking about in the last several days of just bringing great energy. We got some guys banged up, like I'm sure most teams, but just finding the reserves, digging down deep, and finding enough good plays to come away with a tough win, and which in our league, winning at home is the most challenging thing now, it looks like, from what Tom tells me. So great win for our guys.
Big night for Miles and his birthday and all those things. Just those back-to-back threes and at the end right there is kind of just shows what a player he is.
Yeah, he's a special player, and he works at it. Everything he's gotten, he's deserved because he is an everyday guy. The guys did a really good job of finding him. There were some actions some set calls that we did that the guys executed really well. And then just in our base flow. And then there was a couple times that they kept mixing up defenses, 1-3-1, 2-3, and our guys did a really good job of finding them.
And I want to know, like, kind of what your message was this week. And, after everyone's talking about the 3-game skid and coming back at home to play a Charlotte team who was once at the top with you guys, and, what has been that message this week and now finally getting back in that win column?
Well, there's nothing we can do about changing the past, and we talk about that this is part of our story. This is a chapter in the book, and a book has many chapters, and so this chapter is one of adversity. It's one of some failure, and then we analyze the things that we need to do better as part of the whole. Taking care of the basketball, rebounding, but the fact remains, even with today's game, we've been in 5 straight games where it's one possession with 2 minutes to go, and we've got to be able to execute. And that's where we want the next chapters to talk about, of how we improved, how we learned, and how we were able to finish these games.
What's your theory on what's going on with David Green the last 3 games? Shooting 25%, struggling from 3. Is it, you think maybe that you've gone through most of the league now and they've kind of figured out ways to attack him?
He's fighting some ailments right now, and we've limited his practice time. He's emptying his tank for us, and you can tell he doesn't have quite the pop that he had 2 weeks ago, but his presence on our team, and he doesn't want to miss, and it's not a thing that if he plays that it's going to jeopardize him anymore, but obviously we want him to get back to shooting 70% from the field. It's hard to do though, and you still look at his body of work, average-wise, numbers-wise, but his presence today still helped us. And of course, he's gonna labor over shooting and everything like that because he's a disciplined, determined guy. But I'm not worried about David Green.
So you have some time off coming up after San Antonio, and is it the kind of ailment maybe where if you could think about maybe sitting him and giving him a real extended recovery?
I don't think it's quite like that. We're going to keep working on it, but he's an experienced guy. He knows his body. He knows what he can handle. This is a time of year that we're shortening practices. We're doing different things. We've got an off day tomorrow. Sunday we had an off day. We got to gear up for San Antonio, and then over the next couple weeks, we've actually got a little bit more time than we've had. We've had a grind of a month with lots of travel, crazy travel, bunch of games, 3 games in 7 days, all those types of things. So tomorrow's a big day for recovery and treatment for our guys.
When you looked at the schedule months ago, did you look at February and think that could be really tough for us because of the way the schedule was constructed for you? And by that point, you got a lot of miles on your legs and your minds and everything else.
So I don't really look that far in advance, other than working with Josh Wolf and our travel and how we're gonna manage everything with Luke. I really look one game, 1 week at a time and try to manage the week the best we can. And always with a 7-day slide of just like, hey, what's coming up? What do we need to get ready for? And then working with our coaches from a schematic standpoint. But I looked at the league and think the whole thing's going to be tough. I mean, it's a tough league, and it's proven to be true. Just the record. Somebody needs to look this stat up. I can't imagine a league that's had this type of road record. I've never heard of it before.
Talk about Dean hitting 3 big threes for you to sort of help keep the ship afloat during a stretch where your offense was otherwise struggling in the second half.
Yeah, we were having a hard time, and we were really having a hard time getting in the interior, and they're so big, and they kept changing up defenses and packing the paint, and told guys like, hey, if we take 50 good threes tonight, I'll be good with it, but they got to be good ones, and we got a lot of good ones. But Ramad, his energy and the confidence that he has, he really stepped up for us tonight making those threes.
Birthdays you've had?
It's pretty high up there. I haven't had a game on my birthday in a little bit. I think it's all been on the 17th last few years, so this is pretty nice.
This week, obviously, I'm sure it was talked about in practice, just trying to get back to that 1-0. What is that like now to finally be there and be back on track?
It's good. I mean, it feels really good to be back in the win column, especially after the losses we've had, and they were all close games too, so it even hurts that much more. And I mean, it was good for us to be able to pull out a close game here tonight.